Visiting Wilkes County on business or pleasure? Stay in Wilkesboro at the Holiday Inn Express, Hampton Inn, or Red Roof Inn and Suites. Enjoy Southern hospitality, cozy rooms, and a complimentary breakfast. Explore the mountains and then relax with us. You've earned it. Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now and experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's good. Making it look more presentable.
Did you drop it or did you mean to put it down?
No, it was one of those.
Oh, I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
If I'd had more stuff, I'd just clear the desk like I was angry. You know,
wait a minute.
That'd have been great B-roll to just
I got it.
clear everything off.
Hold on just a minute.
There you go. You want me to pick it back up? I mean, we can do it all. We can clear the waters too.
No. Well, Le Bleu. We want them as a sponsor. I don't.
True. I'll get that in
be
there.
Be kind to that.
I'll go ahead and crack
all
that
right.
open.
There you go. There you go.
I'm refreshed. I'm ready to go. Le Bleu, proud sponsor of Carl White and team.
Yeah, there you go.
Life in the Carolinas.
Alex Ski, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Carl.
Wow, it hadn't been that long since we visited last.
Sure.
But my, oh my, have things changed in America and here in the Carolinas and up in Tennessee over literally the past 10, 15 days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the storm that was never imagined, that was never thought of. I don't think we've ever had anything like this. When we go back, I think the most comparable would be 1918, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But then even that would not be what we have now.
No.
So let's talk about what Alex Key has been up to. We'll get over to the show in a few minutes because you've got a benefit show coming up.
Yes, sir.
To help folks out and meet some special needs. But let's talk about from your personal perspective as this storm approached the Carolinas and you begin to realize what's happening to your home and neighbors.
Sure. Absolutely. It's odd. We were eating at I think it was Kodo's. This was either Thursday night or Wednesday night. I can't remember. But of course, it was all over the TV and everything that was going on. And I told Mom and a friend of ours. We were sitting there talking, and I said at that time the storm was projected to be a little bit further west. It was going to move, further west towards the Big Bend, and then up more towards the Nashville, area of Tennessee. But I kept watching, and there was this wind front that I was kind of watching too. I'm not a meteorologist, just
right.
Put that out. But I was kind of watching this wind current, and I told everybody, I said, wait and see. I said, that storm is going to shift over, and I said, we're going to be in a direct hit. Right. And then Thursday, they were still projecting and moving closer towards Knoxville than taking the shift to Nashville. And I said, I don't think so. I think it's going to come this way. Sure enough, late Thursday night, I'm watching it, and it's moving close, and I never really, because it had already, I was like, thank God, okay, we've gone from Category 4 all the way down to tropical storm.
Right.
Like normally when a tropical
and we're not thinking it's going to get worse. It's getting better, not worse. Right?
Yeah, things are improving. Okay, right. That's great. It's just a tropical storm, a little rain, we're going to be fine. And then things just you go to sleep Thursday night and you wake up Friday morning at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and it's just absolutely, the house is just, you can hear the wind pushing against it. The rain, I went out into it. I had to, it was such an immense feeling to be out there. Like I wanted to see it and witness it. And it was wild. But I still, at that time, even standing out in it, watching the trees bent over and the rain coming down, I had no idea what we were actually looking at. In some areas of the county, over 20 inches, or not the county, but the area, over 20 inches of rain. I mean, just an obscene amount of water came down and damage was done. And, of course, no power, no internet, and it was hard trying to preserve your phone battery.
Sure.
Hard to see exactly what was going on everywhere. And then you start getting out, start creeping out and seeing the devastation that had actually transpired. And it was just, it's heartbreaking.
Did you have a lot of water damage at your place?
The house had no water damage. We were very fortunate. We had no structural damage, no roof damage. Fortunately, we had just had our roof replaced. So, shingles were in great shape. They took it well. Our fields flooded. I mean, they rose. We live on the Yadkin. So, of course, when the dam, when they dam it up, it backs the river up and it starts raising. And so we, had catfish swimming in the corn and everything. But, a few trees and branches down, stuff like, but nothing, even worth mentioning when compared to what so many people are facing right now.
But it was a surreal moment. I mean, we were in town about 5:15 in the morning.
Okay.
And the night before, on Thursday evening, there was some flooding down near where Roses is in that area. Yep. But in the morning, when I came down 2nd Street Hill, that was gone, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is good."
Sure.
But I had spoken with it's Dale Isom. He said, "Carl, it's by mid-morning, it's going to be getting bad." Yeah. I said, "How do you know?" He said, "That's the forecast." He says, "We believe that's going to happen." Sure. And by noon, he says, Cub Creek will be underwater. And I kept looking. So I went to the Reddish River, and we watched it literally come out of its banks. And then we did the same thing. We saw Cub Creek come out of its bank. And then Robert was down in Rhonda, getting some footage there and some video clips, even a rescue starting. So at this time, we're like, what in the world's going to happen?
Yeah, things are getting serious.
Yeah, that's right. And by the time the afternoon rolls around, 2 o'clock, we have no rain, but we didn't know what was going on in the mountains.
Yeah.
And that's where...
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the sun was coming out, and, we had not left the house, and we were like, okay, maybe things aren't that bad.
Right.
And they were bad. I mean, they were really bad.
Do you have family up in the higher mountains areas?
Not that I know of, but I have people that I consider family. A lot of good friends. People that when you say goodbye, you say I love you guys. Well, we'll see it. And they're fortunately, I think everybody that we know or that we consider family, I think everybody's okay. Some of them did lose stuff, be it property, houses. I mean, we do know people that have lost stuff, but not their lives. Fortunately, and our hearts go out to those that have. But most of those people that have lost stuff, they're not even worried about what they've lost. They're worried about helping. Everybody we've talked to every day so far, we're in this county or we're in this county. We're making runs. We're over in Bristol. So everybody's just put aside, their stuff and said, this is just stuff, let's go help the people that have lost literally everything and some even their lives. So it's really amazing to see the community and the way they've come together, and it makes you regain a little faith in humanity.
Sure. I think you're exactly right. Over the past few years, we've followed your career and its evolution of standing up at a mic with your guitar, and now a group and professionally doing what you do. Sure. Many of these communities you've performed in, right? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I guess... like I said, most of them. We've spent a lot of time in Nash, spent a lot of time in Sparta, Boone. I actually live on the very close to the Caldwell County line. That's our side. We live on the western side of Wilkes, and so we're over towards Lenoir area. Lenoir actually that was when we started to figure out that things were pretty rough, is because early that day, Lenoir said, we've got a curfew tonight. 7 p.m.'s curfew. Be in your house. And we're like, it feels like COVID again, that's kind of strange. And so that's when we started learning, and then we finally ventured out. And, so living so close to the Caldwell County line, we also live close to Watauga.
Right.
So those are, like, if I always tell people when they ask where we live, I'm like, the best way to describe it is our biggest decision would be, which Walmart do you want to go to tonight?
Right.
I checked with Walmart online. They don't have it. Let's go over to this one, or let's go up to Boone Walmart. So, or even up to Ashe County. We've spent we restored the truck that's on the outdated album cover in Ashe County at one of our great friends' garages up there. So these are second homes, that have been heavily destroyed, and it's heartbreaking to see. And we started venturing out that day, and we turned around on 268 because there's power lines laying across the road. We turned around this way. We can't go this way because there's trees laying across the road.
And you've never seen anything like that before, had you?
No, not here. I mean, I've seen the pictures online. I've seen, other places torn apart, and our hearts always go out to them, of course. But when you see it in person, it really starts to take on a whole different feeling. And we ended up taking a gravel road to connect to a little access road to get to another road just to get out. And it was a good thing that we did, because those conditions remained for several days while they were working to, repair certain areas. And even on the little gravel road we took, there were lines we had to drive under, power lines and stuff that people propped up with sticks and stuff just to, to get
just
under.
To be able to move around a bit.
Yeah, and this is an area that didn't get hit near as bad as many of the other areas did. So it's really mind-blowing.
But it was enough to let you see that things are not good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right away, we're like, okay, if this is what we're facing here, what's everybody else? I mean, we're talking less than half a mile from our house.
Right. How long was your power off?
We got power back. I think it was either Monday night or Tuesday morning. I can't remember.
Okay.
But so
4 or 5 days.
Yeah, not terrible. I mean, like I said, we knew the linemen were out there doing their jobs, everything they could. The commercial tree removals, they were doing what they could. And again, we were able to, off of cell service, when we did get out, we could see, okay, people have died, from this, and we're like, okay, we don't care about power. Like, we're fine, we're okay. We camped out on the bus. We have a generator on there, so we had sinks, we had TV, we were watching DVDs or whatever. So we were super fortunate. I mean,
so you had a bit of a refuge there.
We had a refuge. Yeah, we just moved out to the bus. We had lights, and we were like, look, guys, take your time. Do what you need to do, and because so many people have lost so much, and it's just it's heartbreaking.
Let's talk about that moment, Alex, that you begin to think about all the devastation that's going on, and then you start to think about what your life has been like over the past few years, and what growing an audience and some influence can do for you. And what moment was it that you began to think, well, we need to do something to help with this? What moment, and why did that happen?
Well, I guess it was probably, I would say, sometime over the weekend, because again, immediately you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know the amount of devastation that had actually transpired. I kind of, my first thought process was, this is what most people are facing. They're facing down power lines, some trees that we're gonna have to remove and cut up and stuff like that. So that's not the end of the world, right? We can be without power. We're mountain people. We can survive without that. So we didn't know until we move into the Saturday and the Sunday and the Monday following, and we start really seeing this community is devastated. This side of the world is absolutely some places are just wiped off the face of the earth. Mm-hmm. Some towns are. And it was at that point that, like, I'm sitting there looking, and I hadn't mowed the grass. We've been playing a lot of shows, and I was looking, I was like, my grass is tall. It's like, I really need to mow. And I was like, but how can I go mow my grass? And when I say that sounds silly, but I mow 20 acres a week at the house. And I was like, how can I take that time to do that when I need to be doing something to help? Because I do have reach. I do have, followers all over the world that they see what's going on. They want to help. They're watching on the news. We don't have TV, but they're seeing what's happening where we live.
So they're seeing more than you're seeing.
Yeah, they're seeing more.
So they have a bigger picture.
Exactly. And so it's like, I know there's stuff happening in this community. I want to get out and help. And so we start learning more. We're getting more information. We're seeing what people need, and we're just like, I'm not worried about any of my stuff. Put aside this. Let's see what we can do. And we started thinking, okay, what do we have the capacity to do? And I guess it was around on Tuesday, we actually took a load of stuff from Anchor Ridge. Mm-hmm. Josh was looking for people to, Josh Paul's a great, I'm sure you know Josh, I love Josh, but he was looking for people to take hauls up to the mountains. So we took a load up there because we had a meeting in Ashe County that evening anyway. to discuss a show we were supposed to be playing on the 19th in West Jefferson. So we took that load up there, dropped it off, went straight over to Saloon Studios where we were playing a show on the 19th. And we had a board meeting there with different members of the community and stuff. And basically the point of the meeting was, do we proceed with this concert? Probably not. The area is more than likely the last thing on their mind right now is let's have a concert. So we were going to have this date open. We were doing that show anyway as what was called a fall fundraiser for Musicians Mission of Mercy. And they're a great organization, a 503c in nonprofit in Ashe County. And so they do yearly fundraisers and stuff like that because they help the community year round, regardless of any, acts of God, any events like that. They just help people all the time. They do. And so great organization. And we're sitting there with them. We're sitting there with people of Saloon Studios, some board members from the county. They come in and we're saying, okay, let's cancel this concert, but let's move ahead with doing something that can help. And so, and of course, they're boots on the ground. Musicians Mission of Mercy is they have no extra time right now. They're getting stuff to people where they need it, so they have no extra time. We're moving, event locations. So, Saloon Studios is like, we're kind of out of it. We'll do whatever we can to help, but we're in the community. Like we've got to be
right. They've got to be focused, right?
So we're like, okay, what can we do? So we call the town of Wilkesboro. I get back home at like 8 or 9. We're eating dinner here in town, and I call Dale Isom, and I say, hey, we're really wanting to do something here. And something to help the community. We've got this date open. We want to keep it as a fundraiser to help. Now instead of just helping people in general, we're targeting this region, getting them monetary, aid as quickly as possible. And I was like, absolutely, we'll get you. They were kind enough to let us use the Commons area, the Wilkesboro Commons area. And he said, I'll let you guys have this. There's no charge. You guys run with it. We'll my guys and my staff will do what they can to help. And so we've worked with him and Andrew Carlton and stuff, and they've been great in the project planning. So we're putting on a concert called Appalachian Aid Music Festival. And we're doing this ridiculously quick. So we took the reins on this, right? And it's me and my mom and our team. We're putting this together. The money will go 100% of everything. All ticket sales go straight to Musicians Mission of Mercy. They're in the heart of the disaster area. They get the money where it needs to go. So we don't. So
you don't have to worry about distribution of anything. It's just putting the money where it needs to go to actually take care of very specific local needs.
And that was the one thing that I said to start with. Like, we don't want to touch the money. We're not getting anything. None of the other artists that are playing there, they're not charging anything to be there. Everybody's donating everything. They're donating their time. We have Tim Clonch, and Natalie with the Rag Company here in town. They're donating merchandise. They're making shirts. There's so many people coming together. Peabody.
Musicians?
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of great musicians. So we've got, of course, us. We're going to be there. We're going to have, you remember Johnny Paycheck?
I do.
The country singer? Okay, so Johnny's son, John Paycheck, is going to be there. We're going to have Wayne Henderson, the phenomenal bluegrass player, and my great-uncle Herb Key will be playing with him. The Contenders, which is Jay Nash and Josh Day. Josh is from here. He's played with everybody. We've also got Matt Bazell, who's local to the area. Taylin Hope, who is from Ashe County, but she moved to Nashville a few years ago. BRB, which is Jeff Brown from 106 The Highway. He's emceeing the event.
Great.
But their band's playing, and so is Holy Water as of right now. That's the lineup, but we're also adding to that. So we've had so many great people, reach out. Some of them we've reached out to, some reached out to us that are saying, how can we help? We want to help. We've got volunteers coming in from all over the place saying, we want to be a part of this. Let us help. Peabody has, which is the Kruger Brothers sound guy. The Kruger Brothers are unfortunately out of the country for this time period, but Peabody was not with them, and he said, well, I'd love to come run sound and help with that. So
he's excellent with sound, right?
He is. He's done it a couple times.
He has.
So the event has really taken shape in a very, very short amount of time. And we kind of shifted on Thursday. We kind of shifted away from the concert and said, okay, what's something else we can do? Because we're going in the weekend. There's not a whole lot of planning you can do on the weekend just because it's harder to get in touch with people. What's something we can do over the weekend? So we've got our tour bus, right? And we're like, okay, we don't have helicopters. We can't be flying goods to people as much as we wish we had those resources. We don't. But we've got this big bus. So on Thursday, I was like, let's do an event called Stuff the Bus. So automatically I start designing stuff and posters and pictures for that. And I'm up at Friday morning. I had announced we were going to do it. And then Friday morning, we were starting it Friday at like 3 in the afternoon in the Walmart parking lot. We got it approved from Walmart.
This was last week.
Yeah, just a few days ago.
Just a few days ago you were doing it, right?
And so we talked to Walmart, and Walmart was like, yeah, absolutely, we'd love to help. So they let us set up in the parking lot.
Right.
We sent the banners and everything that I was making between 4 and 7 o'clock Friday morning to the print shop just down the road, which is actually is my bass player's company, Gary Foster. So that was a great avenue, and I'm so grateful to him and his wife Margot and all their team down there for getting this stuff printed. Literally couldn't have been more last minute. I mean, we're talking hours. And so we did an event called Stuff the Bus, and what that was, we did it from Friday that day until Sunday, yesterday, and we just blasted it on social media, come see us. We're set up in the Walmart parking lot. We sat there, we took pictures, we accepted donations all day.
I thought that was great. It was interesting because I called you.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about your bus. I didn't know what you were doing.
Sure.
Because what I had printed off was this piece of information about the concert.
Sure.
Because we were busy the weekend and doing Apple Festival and and talking to lots of people and then doing a show right at 6 o'clock with the president of the Ruetan Club. So his feet were tired. We were all tired.
Sure.
You're tired, but everybody's doing something for this amazing cause. So I called about this and said, well, let's help promote the concert. And then you tell me about stuff in Walmart, and I'm like, you having your bus at Walmart did not seem surprising to me. So I'm like, well, what are you doing again? and then as you're telling me, I'm looking at your social. And oh, I see now what you're doing.
Sure, absolutely.
That's great. Did you talk to did a lot of people come up to you and just talk about this whole thing? What were people saying? What's on people's minds?
So, with Ashe County just now getting their Walmart back to a usable condition, because it flooded, as well as Boone Walmart, they had to clear out a lot of, product.
And we saw video with people walking with water up to their waist almost.
Absolutely. So they had to clear out, of course, all their stock. I mean, and most of it was ruined, and clean the store, restock the store, and that takes a long time.
Sure.
So we had people from other counties coming to our Walmart, and they were actually this isn't a good description of our area in a nutshell. You have people that live in the communities that were most devastated coming down the mountain and to buy goods for their families, and they're stopping by the bus to load stuff that they bought with their own money into our bus to go back to the mountains. Yeah. So that, you know what I'm saying? So it was just so cool. And we stopped and we talked with these people for literally Friday. It was from 3 to 9. We were out there. Saturday it was we actually had a bus breakdown taking the first load of goods up to the mountains. Right. So we got out there a little later, but we were out there from 4 to almost 10 that night. And then yesterday we were out from about 4 to about the same time. So we're out there for several hours this weekend. And we talked to so many people, and we sat there. It was just kind of a hangout, really, is all it was, is we're hanging out, come see us, come stuff our bus with goods to donate, and just a community building, and let's talk about, what you guys are witnessing, and so many heartbreaking stories, especially for people that are coming down the mountain that have seen it, or the people that have been up there working, the volunteers and stuff, and the stories they're sharing are, it really is very, somewhat traumatizing. The things that they're speaking of and what they're witnessing.
I think it's pure trauma.
It is.
I mean, it's really heavy, but the talking is good, though, right?
It is. I think it's.
Did you find that was? I mean, you're in the middle and you're getting lots of these conversations. Sure. Did you sense that as you're hearing these stories and just allowing people to share, did you sense that was valuable, that was therapeutic, that was beneficial and helpful?
I think so. I definitely felt like it was, because there were people that, and I'd be over here talking to someone from our team. Mom, I'd be over here talking to someone, and so we'd come together at the end of the night, and, well, someone told me this, but it really seemed like people just being able to talk. You've got up there.
That's important.
Some are doing as far as unfortunately body removals.
Yeah.
Which is if you're not in that field and you're just trying to help, and this is something you've never dealt with, I'm sure that's got to be very traumatizing.
Of course it is.
And so some of these people had done that, and the things they were coming back, you could see it in their eyes. They were deeply troubled. But I do think talking about it and getting that out and not bottling it up really helped a lot. And so that also made us feel good that we could be
a lot of hugs, I'm guessing.
A lot of hugs. I gave a lot of hugs.
Right.
Yes, and I'm a hugger anyway, so that was good for me too. So it was I think it was a really great thing, just to be able to do for us, as well as getting to help the community.
It's good medicine, isn't it?
It is. It really makes your heart feel good.
We saw this in a few different ways. So, the Rewarding Club had to make a decision: do we do the Apple Festival or not? And the decision was made: yes, we do need to do this because it's going to be a moment just to let people breathe. And you'll be right back to, worrying on Sunday, but if you can just have a little break. And then we had the fair also, with the Rotary Fair. And Ken Welborn was sharing the stories about all those kids that came. They get to go for free, So just the happiness in their eyes. And knowing that many of those people were going through some very difficult times, but this was a break.
It was.
Right?
It was.
So there's value to that, right?
There is value to that. And I know, there was mixed emotions. If you were on the social media world at all, of course, everybody's, some didn't agree with certain decisions, some did, and I think what we have to remember in those times is that, like you said, it's a hard time. Even if you're not directly, involved or affected, you're still seeing your community hurting. And when you've got, like, right here in North Wilkesboro, things are okay here.
Right.
The town's okay, and be an escape for somebody. Provide that escape, because you never know who might need that. They may, I know several people did come from, out of town, up in, the mountains, came down for that, to simply get away.
That's right.
To escape, to have a mental break from what they were dealing with. So those kind of events, they're a lot more beneficial than people realize. Just having that short escape, and because they have to go back to that reality. And it's the same way with the music festival we're doing. It's quick, it's very fast. Whereas that community up there may not be ready for the concert to take place due to resources, staffing. Right. They've got people that have got a lot more concerns than trying to control crowds at a concert. But down here, we can do that, and we can do something here to benefit them.
Right.
So it's kind of letting people know, if you can get out, if you're not stranded, if you're not, boots on the ground currently, like, here's an event, here's a way you can help. If you can make it, we're down here. We're staying out of the way because we're not trained. We're not professionals. So we're trying our best to stay out of the way. Let the ones that are do their job. But here's an event that you can come, and this also helps. This is a good way to help. This raises money.
If you do nothing but sit there and just enjoy the music and let it do its magic to you,
exactly,
then that's a good thing.
That's exactly right.
Wow, that's great, Alex. So tell everybody again who we've got that'll be at the concert, because that's obviously something that is the next big shiny thing that I think this is the next big public display of giving and celebrating life in Wilkes. So this will be coming up on the 19th. So give us that rundown again. Yeah,
so it'll take place right now, and unless we have more people, quite a few more people join, which is possible. It's supposed to take place from 12 noon until 10 that night. And we currently have, of course, us. We have Alex Key there. We've got John Paycheck, which is Johnny Paycheck's son. Wayne Henderson. I know my uncle Herb Key is playing with him, but we're not sure if. I know a couple of his band members may have had obligations, so we're waiting to see if the whole band's coming or not. We've got Matt Bazell, Taylor Hope. We've got Holy Water. We've got BRB, which is Jeff Brown from 106.1 The Highway. He's also emceeing the event. And just today, I got a text from Josh Day, which is with Jay Nash and the Contenders, that they would love to be a part of it as well. Because they're also, I think they're playing an event later that evening in the area. So they said, we're in the area already. We want to be a part of this. Let us help. And so we were super thankful to have them. And so we've got a great lineup already. 100% of ticket sales go straight to the people that need it. We're not taking anything. Nobody is. So that's a really good feeling to be able to do. We're trying to cover everything we can, all the bases. You can buy tickets online at Eventbrite, or you can buy them at the gate. There's not going to be a difference. It's not like $30 at the gate, or so we're doing $20 tickets, which is very reasonable for as many artists.
And 100% of the money is going to not to pay the expenses of the event, but to actually go out to boots on the ground. It's going to people who actually need this in the areas that are being suffering so much
because
now.
And everybody's like, well, that's awfully quick, but you know as good as I do that unfortunately, and it's just the way people work, right? The further we get from disaster, unless it's directly affecting us, we tend to, we have to move on with our lives, right? But people also tend to forget a little bit that there are still people suffering. So we wanted to do this quick while it's still in our forefront, while people are still thinking about it, while they still, it's still all over the news. We want to get this out. We want to do this. And while people are vigilant, what can we do to help?
Right.
And so that's why we're doing it so quickly, is because 100% of everything, it's not a proceeds situation. You see a lot of time, 100% of proceeds. That means that after we cover sound, after we cover the artist, after blah, 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 then we'll donate what's left. That's not the situation. 100% of everything goes. The only thing that would be is, for instance, you've got guys coming from out of town. If they want to come set up their merchandise and say, hey, we're not pushing our merchandise, but we did spend fuel money. If you want to buy some of our merchandise, then sure.
Then that's their money.
That's their money.
If somebody sells their CDs, then that's their money.
Sure.
But the ticket price to get in, all of that goes for the charity.
Absolutely. And if they want to donate their merchandise funds, that's fine. But that's on them. Right. That's completely up to them, and we support that 100%. But as far as on our end, as far as ticket sales, we're going to have several opportunities around the campus, like QR codes hanging on the stage for people to just pull out their phones and donate right there. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to get the town to approve. I know space is an issue, but we're hoping to get an approval on bringing a tractor trailer down there to have people donate goods, more canned foods, waters, essentials, things like that. So it's really coming together quickly. It is 100% of everything going straight to the people that need it.
Wow. Well, Alex Key, I'm not at all surprised you're doing this, because my observation of you over the years is you've certainly played and participated in helping serve various charity causes over a period of time. And it's not surprising to me that the people of Wilkes County and the surrounding area are involved from a musician standpoint, and then people showing up. I'm sure there's going to be a big line of people waiting to get in.
We sure hope so.
Yeah, so that's a really good thing. Well, Alex, thank you for what you're doing. Are you going to do any more of those stuff the bus trips, or have you got all that done you need to do, and now you got to focus on the concert?
I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Right. We do have to, of course, since it is my team, me and my team taking the reins on this concert. That's putting together a music festival in a year is a big task. Right. Putting it together in 2 weeks is almost impossible.
Sure.
But we're doing it, and we do have a show in Nashville this coming week as well. So we're going to be out of town for about 3 days. So our time is getting very limited to work on this and to also do the show in Nashville. So we're probably going to have to put a pause on the Stuff the Bus.
Sure.
But the event that we're doing, hopefully with the tractor trailer, will more than make up for that, because a tractor trailer could be 3 or 4 bus loads. So hopefully we'll be able to, and then maybe after we get through this, we might do some more stuff.
Well, you've got all the components. You've got the musicians that are they've already lined up. They're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
You've got the town providing the space.
Absolutely.
And everybody knows the space. It's perfect for a concert.
Absolutely.
And you're going to go do a rehearsal in Nashville, and that'll get you warmed up. Then you'll come back, put the show on in Wilkes.
That's exactly right. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but it is all falling into place, and we owe the community and the people that are donating their time a lot. because it means a lot.
That's
It really
great,
does.
Alex. Well, thank you so much for what you're doing. We're not surprised. We're happy you're doing it. And hopefully, after this one, we'll never have a need to do one for this cause.
Sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. That's the prayer that we're glad we can do it, but we don't want to have to do it, because of a disaster like this.
Yeah, that's right. But if we do, we will.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.